Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, ready to get another day of reveals started. This one is reveal number 611, exciting 1939 Philadelphia roll. It is the 22nd of January, Monday. It is 2 o'clock on the dot here in the Eastern Time Zone. I'm your host, Chuck Daughtrey, and I'm ready to go. We're going to be looking through all these coins. Going to be looking at the obverses and reverses all the way through until we're satisfied that we've seen enough to know that there's not going to be reverse doubled dies, although there are some known for 1939. We're going to go all the way through this roll if it takes going all the way through on both sides to take a look at every coin in detail enough to let us know what's going on or what's not going on in this roll. I welcome Dan, Carl. Wow, there's a Doug. There's Anthony Arshnia. There's Tyler. Mr. Adams, Mr. Sappington. We are all here ready to go. Well, let's do it. Coin number one in this roll goes to Taco John. 1939, folks. I got these at a good deal, and I was able to give them back out at a really good deal. These are far cheaper than these would normally sell for. I looked back on the sheet, and I thought, what did I do? I thought, I did a good service to mankind. That's what I did. I don't see anything on the eye there. That one looks like it's more just a booger in the die than an actual eye. Secondary eye. It just doesn't follow the right directions and all that kind of stuff. All that good jazz. Alright, so here we go for the reverse of the first coin. Let's see what we get on the reverse here. I'm kind of excited because, well, 1939 is not a date you're going to see uncirculated rules of very often at all. In fact, they're very steeply drying up. And that means that 1939 is also one of those years where finding die varieties is starting to dry up a little bit. Ant gets a second coin here. The second coin is this right here. And I'm just into the idea of finding some good stuff for people. I mean, that's what I really want to do here. That's my goal, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see, got nothing going on there on that. No eye. There's a nice little die scratch between the R and the U of trust we can use in future knowledge that we've already seen this particular die pair. But that's the only thing that can particularly be used for. Doug's having trouble with his typing today. This is the same coin. I'm just checking the ear real quick. Tried to do that non-discreetly, or discreetly anyway, but it didn't turn out that way. Because having a little bit of steering current day problems here, getting coins steered underneath the microscope where they belong. I'm sitting about 2.5, 3 feet to the left of the microscope, and it is to my right, and I'm looking at it sideways, trying to get the coins all scooched up under there where they belong so we can take a good look at them. Whereabouts am I? Are you asking me, Carl? I am in my studio here in North Carolina. In case that question might have been for me. There's another one that looks normal so far. Let's take a look and see what else we can see on this one. This is the same die as the coin before, with the RU die scratch. Let's see if we have anything next to the date that'll give us a good idea of what we've got. Not really much, so we could definitely use that RU as a useful mark to let us know what's going on. We've already seen this reverse, but we'll take a quick look at this one just to be sure. Why I have my screen abbreviated so small, I don't really know. Not sure why I did this to myself, but it's okay. Hello, sissy. Good morning. Or afternoon. It's going to be afternoon because you're in Georgia. Okay. In case I didn't say hi earlier, there's Doug and Sissy. So what do you guys think of my idea of doing a preview video of the auction? I think that was pretty good. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes for me to do it. 10 minutes, however long it took to record it, is basically how long it took to do it, because I didn't do a whole lot of setup ahead of time. In fact, when I recorded, I didn't even notice that I was using the wrong microphone. That's why it sounds all hollow. It's because it was using my microphone that I generally only use. Here's that die again. So so far we only have 2 die pairs in this roll. We've got this one and the first one that we pulled out. We're on 4 coins now, so we've had 3 of the same die pair in a row, if my math is correct. Icy conditions in Georgia? Oh, maybe. Maybe just a little bit of leftover frozen stuff on the road from earlier precip. Well, I hope to be able to do it in a little bit more depth later, but it is going to be an upload show always. It will not be a live show. So it will be something that you will know has been done after it was done. There will be no audience to these. It's just a method of being able to get, there's another one of those, just a method of being able to get the information out there so everybody knows what's going to be coming up in the auction so they can actually get themselves ready for the idea of bidding on the items. All right. That's Mr. Merriman. Let's see what's next. Parviz, number 6. I believe I've got 4 scheduled for today. Man, that one's got a fingerprint on it. That shucks. And this is a different die as well. Don't have anything going on here. Just a normal coin. Number 7 now for Frosty. It's another different die, but there's nothing special on the obverse here. We'll have to check the reverse to see if there's anything to be alarmed about. Anything we need to be checking further into. And no. Not seeing anything here. Took me just a little while to make that determination because I do believe there is a very small microscopic double die reverse there, but just not enough to be of listing strength. Mickey's up next, and Mickey gets, that one looks like our first die, the one that has the mess in the eye. Maybe. Looks kind of like it. Not a double die otherwise on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. Not nothing, not nowhere. Oops, this one went in a holder backwards. Is this the one that we're talking about, Carl, number 7? You have to tell me what number you're talking about, because sometimes I can't get to your comment in time to know what coin you were talking about. This is number 7, though. It doesn't have anything up there. Hello, Mr. Wheeler. Good evening to you, sir. Good afternoon. Got a video out there on the channel of the preview for tomorrow's auction. Got all of the single coin items that will be run in the auction up for your preview. Go take a look at it. Pause it wherever you need to if you want to study the image of the coin a little closer. And be ready to bid and win tomorrow. I've got a few changes that I'm going to implement here in the very near future. One of them is going to be bin increments. They're going to change slightly, but not by much. Another thing that is going to change is I am going to actually broadcast the rules of the game every time we do an auction. It's going to take me about 30-45 seconds to rattle through all the rules, but it is a necessity legally for my being able to collect from the people who don't like to pay. Can't prove that you actually saw the rules of the auction unless they're in the auction. Hello, Joseph. G'day, sir. Here is Dan. One for Dan. Even if we don't get any die varieties out of this roll, we have still gotten a nice little push in BU 1939 Lincoln Cents. A pretty roll overall. And I have not found anything special in this roll yet. Joseph, do I know you by a different name? Or is Joseph C. what you have always gone by here? Because I recognize that you are a moderator here, which means that you've been around for a while. But for some reason, my feeble little mind does not record that name as one I'm used to seeing. I know a few different Josephs. Just Joseph C. Okay. Well, I welcome you back, for sure. Now one for Cat Morgan Dollar. Same die again. You can see those concentric die scratches running in through the face. That's what I've been watching for this particular die. This is not the one with the big die scratch between the RU. This is a different die, but we've run across it a few times in this roll so far. Kind of thing is always going to happen when you start getting up into the teens of numbers of coins you've looked at. Calipigian, not yet, sir. I have not finished really working through the trademark paperwork for that. Once I get the trademark paperwork done and can put a trademark applied for on the cards, then that's what I will do, and I will make them. I just have this fear that they're going to be so well liked that someone is going to copy the idea, and I would rather get the idea published prior to other people having a chance to copy them. I've got a lot of the pieces and parts of it finished and ready to go. It's just a matter of getting that trademark together. Number 15 now, Mr. Patillo. Going a little bit faster because I keep running into the same die pairs. Same die pairs aren't going to prove anything different that we have not already seen. Now this up here is actually die deterioration doubling. It has a little bit to do with the wear on the die and the wear chipping away at the edges of the lettering as you get to the edge of the design. That's what does that. So that's die deterioration doubling. I know I recognized your name, Joseph. Now I know where from. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. I had a period of time for probably about 6 to 8 months where I was kind of being screwed around by my own system. I was not getting indications through email that I was getting orders on my website. And I would go in and I would fix it and it would break again. I'd fix it and it'd break again. So now I'm checking my website once every 3 days or so to see if there's any new orders, because I cannot trust email to inform me that I have new orders to get done and ship out. And then sometimes I'll get an order the day before I go on a 2-week trip out of state. I can't do anything about it for a couple of weeks. And then I wasn't getting notifications, and it was taking me a week to figure out that I had an order, and then it was taking me 2 more weeks to get it filled. That's just not good business. Don't like doing it that way. We're in a theme now where we've got the same dies over and over again, it seems. So as long as I'm seeing a die I've seen before, I'm not going to flip it over and take a look at the reverse again. This one does not match that. This one appears to be a fresh, different die that I don't remember seeing before, so I am going to flip it over. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I have seen this die before. It's got that heavy clash mark on the reverse. Let's take a look at number 19 now. 75 in pennies, baby. Let's see what we have here. Got a nice little die cracker in our long bottom of the vest, which kind of tells me I probably haven't seen this one. So we're going to take a little closer look. Hey, this has got the one that's got the muckety muck going on in the eye. Well, this is different because it has a little die chip or die gouge on the top of the S of trust. I'm going to work toward learning how to do edits on videos after they're recorded so I can clip out parts that I don't want of videos that I do, so I can continue using OBS to record videos and possibly even use Adobe Premiere to cut out the parts I don't like, to be able to publish more or less professional videos for you and make that a good thing. Because if I can get to a point where I can produce and publish more or less professional quality videos like I used to do before YouTube or Adobe Premiere, whichever one went haywire wonky on me, then I will be producing at least 2 to 3 videos per week for your enjoyment, educational stuff about Lincoln Cents, about coin collecting in general, about the market, about the metals, about anything, regardless of what it might be. It'll just be something, even if it's just my ranting and raving. But I'll be on at least a couple of times a week doing that. And I'll also be doing a new show that I will begin doing using questions that are very common questions that have come to me in the past, with images possibly that I created or possibly images that I kept of someone else's, but they're going to be about questions regarding Lincoln Cents that I get sent through email. And if you send me a question about a Lincoln Cent through email and I get it in time, I might be able to put it in the show. Put it in the show, answer your question during the show. That way you've got a permanent record of what my answer was to you about that particular image. Got a lot of things that I'm planning on making changes in 2024 to not only retain the family members that I already have out there watching me now, and to gain new family members, because I have a number of people who have decided to rock the boat and fall out. I don't know why. Sometimes they fall out very quietly and they're just completely unnoticed for a month or so. And some other ones, they just plain disappear. Plain old disappear, like a popcorn fart in the wind. And I don't understand why that happens. I mean, I tell you guys that if you decide that you're going to stop coming to the channel, you're going to stop buying or whatever, if your budget disallows you from buying or whatever the case may be, I prefer to know what's going on rather than to never know why you just disappeared. I have a number of people who just plain disappeared over the last year to 2 years, and the why as to why they disappeared, I just don't know. No answers. There's a nice coin there for Farm Dog. Coin number 23 now. Almost halfway through the roll. We are at Mr. Mark Thomas. Number of really nice 1939 Lincoln Cents here, but we've not found anything for die varieties yet. But the only way to find them is to look. So we're doing that. One day it'll pay off. Perhaps just not this day. I'm also open to any ideas anybody has with regard to what they think they would like to see on the channel. Any educational ideas, anything they would like to see. And you can email those ideas to me at cd@coppercoins.com. cd@coppercoins.com. Please do not send general correspondence emails to my payments email. That's only for registering new users. I don't read that email. So payments at coppercoins or coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Only use that to register or for changes in your registration information. If you want to come to me specifically about something, it's cd@coppercoins.com. That's been my email address for years now. I'm going to say since 1999. So almost 25, just about 25 years. 25 years. We're going to have a big celebration for the 25th year of operations of coppercoins.com. Started in 1997, actually, as the Lincoln Log. Didn't open up as coppercoins.com until 1999. This is the 25th year, 2024. Initial opening was in October, specifically the 3rd of October, but I call it the 1st of October, 1999. Officially switched over to the second version of the website, the one that you currently use, on July 4th, 2004. Some good to know information. We are currently in reveal number 611. Reveal number 1 occurred during the summer of 2018. That was back when I did my very first roll, which I believe the very first roll was a machine-wrapped roll of 1946 Lincoln cents. I don't see the 39s grading out to anything that would be a profitable rain, because a profitable 1939 would be a MS-67 red. A 66 is relatively common. Relatively being that a 66 is probably a $25 coin. It's not going to do you a whole lot of good to get that graded if you're looking for profit. But any coin is worth grading if it's for you and it's for your set. So don't let people say, oh, well, that's not worth grading. Well, it is if you want to. If you want to pay the fees and everything and get it graded, just understand that you're paying over retail value for the coin by the time you get it graded and all is done and said. But, if you have a coin that came from your grandfather's collection and you want it protected, go get it graded. Will anybody tell you it's not worthwhile? The only problem you're going to run into is if your coin is altered, cleaned, or otherwise damaged, or if it's fake altogether. The major services will not put it in a holder. Here is coin number 30, Mr. Fletcher. I will be moving on to reveal number 612 after I get this one finished. It'll probably take me 10 to 15 minutes to get ready between. That's the same die we've seen over and over and over again. This one for Mr. Fletcher. Now number 31, Stan. Stan gets another repeat die. Tell me, Pete and Repeat were walking down a cliff trail. Pete fell off. Who was left? Right? Something I learned when I was, I don't know, maybe 11. So you're supposed to say, well, repeat. Okay. Pete and Repeat were walking down a trail along the side of a cliff, and Pete fell off. Who was left? Back in 1985, American Airlines Flight 1137 was on its way from Dallas-Fort Worth to Mexico City. The plane crashed right on the border. Where did they bury the survivors? Mexico or the United States? Oh, namaste. Very, very good. Namaste. You have broken the code to that one. Of course, survivors are not buried. Who knows a good tongue twister? I know most of them. Some of them, anyway. You know the most difficult tongue twister in the English language? It's very difficult to say at any speed. As determined by the Guinness Book of World Records in 1974, the most difficult tongue twister to speak in the English language is the sixth sheep's sick. The sixth sheep's sick. Try that one. Is your wife the hardest tongue twister to speak in the English language? JJ. Springfield, Missouri buddy that I've never met in person, lives in my hometown, been back there probably half a dozen times, and we just haven't gotten a chance to get together yet. That's because I'm always there right around holidays and stuff, and he's busy with his family and other things, doesn't have time to meet up with me. 75 in pennies, baby. Gets this very bright, shiny rendition of the 1939 Lincoln cent. This one has the same markers I've seen a number of other times on other coins from this roll. So, we move along. Number 38, Parviz. Parviz Nawab. Actually, his name would be pronounced Parviz. Parviz. Seen that reversed too. It's number 39 now for his grandson Jordan. And Jordan gets another one of those. Same die again. Nice clean looking coin though. Richard, I appreciate you being here. Come back later if you can. I'll be doing a few more reveals today. And then we've got the reveal show at 7 p.m. promptly where you can get your spots in the next set of reveals. Be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to fight your way into next week's rolls. These are pretty nice for 39s, aren't they? Really nice looking bright red coins. Looks just like a 57D roll. 57D rolls usually come pretty shiny. Number 41 now goes to Eric. Mr. Eric gets this right here. I'm going to pretty much resign my thoughts to the idea that we're probably not going to get any die varieties in this roll because I've already been through 40 coins and haven't found anything yet. So I'm going to check this reverse here real quick because I'm not sure that I've run into that obverse yet. But just like the rest, there's nothing here. Air sealed 2018. Yep. That sounds about right. What those my first auction sale was in I believe May of 2018. May of 18. Quite some time ago, actually. Almost 6 years now. Here's Eric. I ran for about a year and a half in Florida, and then I moved to North Carolina where I reside now. Hopefully will reside until I retire from doing this altogether, which hopefully isn't anytime soon. Carl. Another repeat. Sand-digger out of rolls. I'll fix that tomorrow, Sand-digger. That video that I posted for you guys to watch is only a preview of the singles that I'll be running in the auction. I will have some rolls as well. Here's one for Mr. Patello. I'll be adding the rolls to the sheet in the morning. Start adding rolls early in the morning and work my way through. A lot of the rolls that I'm going to be running this time are going to be onesie-twosie rolls that I'm not really going to have a whole bunch of. So they're not going to be the ones I'm generally going to do much stopping and repricing for you. So most of it's going to be a one-off, whoever bids the highest wins it situation. Oh, I remember that, Marshall. Remember it very well. Remember that. I remember a lot of the other people that were around back then, some of whom are no longer with us in mind and body. Don't know exactly where a lot of them are, but they quit coming to me at some point because either I stopped having things to offer them that excited them, or they ran out of money, or in some unfortunate cases, they passed away. But I had a number of people that I can remember that don't come and see us anymore, or often at all. You know, people like Yo Man Gull, Ted Evans. So I remember a bunch of them. It's just a matter of not being able to recall them at the very moment. There was Greg Maddox. Marshall is a penny addict. I believe that. Totally believe it. As am I, Marshall. If I didn't buy stuff, most of which I turned back over to sell, I wouldn't be able to buy stuff, and it would be, very indicative of a very poor lifestyle for me. So I would rather do what I'm doing and keep doing it. Last coin in the roll here for Taco John. Then I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, come back on the next show. Next show will be reveal number 612. It's already out there waiting for you to join it. And that's it for this roll. Nothing left here. Tyler says he's out of rolls that excite him to go through. Are you looking for stuff that might have die varieties? Stuff that might have high-grade stuff that would be worth grading higher? Or what, Tyler? You're working on the sell stuff part? I understand that. Took me a while to get it going, but once I did and I started making a little bit of profit, it Kind of kept my motor running. All right, well, fortunately, we have a good 1939 roll. Unfortunately, we did not have a 1939 roll that provided us any dive varieties. But we never know what our next roll might provide for us, so I'm going to go ahead and take off now, come back. And did Mickey say? Mickey did say something. Trying to watch starting treatment. Okay. Well, hope you're doing well too, Mickey. Been looking at proof and mint sets. You want me to send you my boring rolls? How about if I just put all my rolls up for sale and do it in a way that affords me the ability to sleep, eat, and drink as well, but still I can send you enough stuff to keep you busy. Let's work on that tomorrow during the auction. Tell you what, I'm going to take off now, come back with Reveal 612 in about 10 minutes, so I'll see you then.